What's up, guys? Back in today with more Darwin Incident, this time with episode 6. I believe we've got a new arc starting. I'm not sure if it fully started last week, but I think it's called like the Red Pill Incident arc or something like that. Considering what happened at the end of the episode, I honestly, I think I kind of predicted this right in terms of the guy that got bullied for kind of sharing his views about this whole animal rights stuff. I think he's going to end up being a school shooter. And I'm pretty vindicated in that because at the start of the episode here, we've actually got a warning, which I'll go through quickly. This episode contains scenes of graphic violence. The content depicted in this episode is an essential part of the story, however. It may cause distress to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. So yeah, I feel like I was quite right about this guy because he seems like a quite emotional person. Honestly reminds me of myself a little bit. I'm not saying I would ever do something like this, God forbid. But sometimes I can have a bit of an emotional reaction to stuff that seems a bit disproportionate to how it maybe should affect me. And vice versa, some things should affect me more than it would. But yeah, I just kind of got that vibe from the guy who made the end of the episode. Some interesting points brought up, unfortunately, by the two stupidest people. The points that I brought up during the episode / weeks before were brought up by those bullies, and they were interesting talking points, but there was no real like discussion about it or anything. We just kind of dismissed them, and that's something I've had an issue with this whole show, to be honest with you. It's like there's been some interesting points arisen, but it never actually like fully takes the time to kind of delve too much into them so far anyway. And some of the points brought up are from characters that are really not very well written, so it's not really like well nuanced or anything. It's just like it feels kind of surface level in terms of the representation of the people they're presenting. I would say the best aspect they've done with that is like Charlie and like the aspect of him being human Z. I think they've done that quite interestingly in terms of showing us his kind of positions and thoughts, and it's more the humans I got an issue with. The humans in this show, like they got some interesting things going on, but as much as there's a lot of deepness to think about in terms of them as people and characters, there's not actually like an awful lot going on, I don't think. Just these are the comical vegan villains who have a really interesting premise, but they're just comedic villains. I don't know. We'll see how this arc goes. It's the school shooter over there, presumably. I'm assuming that warning is confirmation, but yeah. I don't know, man. That's the thing. As a kid, you always like me. I wanted to move to America. It's like, oh, the land of the free, nice sunny weather. But as you get older, you're like, I mean, you could say this about like the UK. Like, you could get stabbed at any minute, but you could realistically just get like shot and instantly die. Like, you don't have a chance to run. You don't even have a chance. You could just you could get shot. Your kids could get shot at school. It is not a place I want to live at all. I'm not even sure I'd want to go on holiday there, to be honest. I've never been. My parents have. I've never been myself, but like as I said, I was quite, especially the time we're living in now, is quite a scary proposition to be. But even saying that, I feel like I wouldn't say it's disrespectful. But I'd say the way this show represents the American people is not. They're very caricaturish. They're very I wouldn't appreciate it, and that's someone that's like the British stereotype in media is like very like pompous and like yeah. Fuck ass AI pictures. This is another reason I'm not a big fan of this show, honestly. I know it's a small thing, but it's kind of a big thing to me, honestly. Like, why? I say it every time you see them, but why? Why you gotta be so fucking lazy? Like, you could be actually good lazy if that's the thing, and just like put like a black, just a full black profile picture, or just like a smiley face or something would work. Why did you feel the need to use shitty AI images, especially on Twitter, where everybody tries to hide their identity? No, but when's the last time you saw someone use their actual face as their profile picture on Twitter? Don't get me wrong, there's people out there that do that, but I just don't get it. But they tried, like, John, we'll put a little bit in there, test the waters. It's like, fuck off. Make a good point. See, this is why I don't bother with politics. You've got to be fully one side or nothing. Otherwise, you don't really achieve anything. But that's not how it should be. Yeah, that's how it has to be. I will free you, Charlie. Oh, you're not struggling with this guy. This guy's puny. Evolution? Is this what you call evolution? Guess it's in the eye of the beholder. Maybe this is quite a harsh opinion, but he's a freak. It's a freak science experiment created by a very disgusting person. It's what you represent, Charlie. It's not what you are. You're right. You're absolutely right. But what you represent to these people is much bigger. I'm just Charlie. Charlie Dale. Again, that's the good point. Like, yes, he is just Charlie, but like I said, it's what he represents to these people, isn't it? And as I said, like, what he represents to me is something disgusting. What he represents to me is the disgusting nature of, like, there's a good nature of scientists where they pursue this stuff, and it's good for humanity, and it's interesting, and it's the biggest thing is it's like it's lawful and ethical. This is not. It's not lawful. It's not ethical. It's not right. Yeah. I mean, this is a bit different, but if someone created a strain of like a virus that created zombies, for example, there would be a certain amount of people that are like, give the zombies rights. You know, this is the next evolution. We become immortal zombies. We need to give them rights. We need to fight for them. Like this dude's fighting for Charlie. There would inevitably be a bunch of people like that, and that just shows how fucking stupid some people can be. Chris mad. So everybody that argues and is miserable online should put that in it. Should be called that. I'm John Mad. Oh god, here we go. A bunch of people confirming his biases right here. This is another reason I avoid politics, because you end up in echo chambers like this. And then I know this is very political. Again, I've got no foothold in anything, but that whole incident with the guy that killed the like insurance medical guy that happened, I think it was Luigi or something. Again, I'm not like fully clued up on it, but I think in a political aspect, a lot of people were kind of agreeing with what he'd done. I always thought the fact that I mean, anybody that's seen, I think it's Saw 6 or 7, had a very similar plot, actually, funny enough. And it's like in that movie while watching, I'm like, yeah, you know what, these guys, fuck these guys. except for the one right at the start, the fucking caretaker that got killed for smoking because he was a smoker. I mean, it goes along with Jigsaw's principles, but away from the point. But yeah, I didn't agree with that. Um, that movie has got quite a lot of coincidence, and as I said, I kind of support it. I was like, yeah, these guys are fucking assholes. These guys toying with life and deciding this and that, but does it mean that you should support somebody ending the life of someone that does that, because they're essentially doing the same thing, yet you're cheering for that? Like, again, there's a mass amount, like, it was incredibly popular to cheer for the guy and support the guy, and you can understand it if your family, like if you're one of your parents or your God forbid your son or daughter or something got denied coverage for like a cancer or some kind of treatment that could cure them but will end in their death. You have every right to be like pissed off and angry, and if you kill someone, okay. But I feel like the general kind of population's response to it was a little crazy, because at the end of the day, that is a murderer. He done even more of a personal act of doing it than the people that denied coverage to these people, and it is a matter of perspective, because I mean both are wrong is the thing, but one side actually have people actively supporting a murderer. So I always thought that was kind of crazy. I probably, I mean, inevitably you probably get people disagree with me, like how could you say that? Like, again, because there was plenty of people in support of the guy, and again, I totally underget his position in that. But it was just crazy to see just how many people would support a murderer or potential murderer. Again, I don't think they're caught, like the case is actually done yet or anything, but like I said, I can understand and empathize with the person. Doesn't mean I agree with them murdering people, because that shouldn't be the case, but it also shouldn't be the case that these insurance people and such get to decide things like that and use these like loopholes to, oh, you had a common cold 10 years ago you didn't tell us about, well, we deny you coverage based off that. Like, that's just scumbaggery in itself as well. So it's like it's a hard fucking topic to discuss, but and that's why I don't get into politics, because people into politics will force you to one side. They'll be like, well, you agree or you don't, and if you don't, I hate you, if you know what I'm saying. So that's why I don't get involved in that shit. That's why I never even spoke about that. That's why I don't speak about anything regarding like stuff like that. Bullshit. XXXX. So he owns the red pill channel, huh? Yeah, apologies for going a bit off topic there, but I guess there's shades of kind of similarities between some of the things here. And this guy's so fucking creepy, bro. Red Pill Gary. What's that song by Blink 182? Dysentery Gary or something like that. I can't remember that. Red Pill Gary. Oh, Red Pill Gary. I'm so I was actually thinking about this before the episode started. I'm so away from politics that I honestly don't know which side red pill and blue pill is. I'd assume red pill is maybe Republican, more forceful, more just because of the color red, more attacking, more violent, and blue is more somber. But that's literally just based off the colors. I don't actually know. Depends who. I mean, it's that classic thing, isn't it? It depends who's writing the history books. It depends which side wins with stuff like this. They could end up on the good side of history. I would just order some fuck ass carrots. Look at the fuck ass carrots, bro. Oh my god. You pansies. That's what that guy's thinking. You vegan pansies. I mean, they didn't even bother with the carrots, did they? Didn't even cut the end off. I will say, I've had some vegan food in my time. It tastes like absolute shit, bro. Don't get me wrong, I like my vegetables and fruit and stuff. But I remember eating some, I don't know if it was like ham or some kind of like meat substitute, because it would last better for a festival I went to. And I had one bite and I was just like, this is fucking disgusting. Again, I can't speak for America, but when I've been with black people to restaurants and pubs, I've never experienced anything as brazen as this. I feel like there's so many caricatures like this in American media of just like the country guys that are all racist. Surely that's not actually the case, right? I mean, it'd never be. There's going to be a bunch of people like that. But surely it's not as common as every one of them, because every one of them seems to be in media that represents Americans. Yeah, eat that black guy's hand, bro. Ooh, damn. Oh. They're not nearly the same. They're not even nearly the same thing. Oh, shut the fuck up. Don't you, don't you fucking take a fucking piss. They don't just piss you off when they say something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if this is AI as well. The amount of detail. It's like a manga drawing. That'll piss you off though. Fucking... Especially if you're a black person. Let me know if you guys are of colour. Let me know what you guys think about him saying that. That pisses me off. Fucking comparing eating meat to slavery. What the fuck? I'm gonna try to look some details here. I mean, it doesn't look. I can't outwardly notice anything, and that's the scary thing about AI. That the more it's training on consuming internet stuff, the more it is getting better and harder to actually detect. Unfortunate. I mean, I don't know what's going on the right here. Kind of unreadable. Bit of a dodgy heel right there. I'm not sure if this guy's got 4 fingers. I won't make any assumptions, but this also seems a bit dodgy to me that you'd randomly have, again, in a show where the animation quality is this, not fantastic, not bad per se, but not fantastic. To go from this to something incredibly detailed like that, as with the Twitter profile pictures, bit suspicious. And that's another. That is something political that I am absolutely dead set on. The fact that I fucking hate AI and what it represents and where things are headed. Although actually, where things are headed, it's kind of looking up for me, to be honest. It sounds like it's going to hopefully be a bit like those NFTs and hopefully fucking die as soon as possible. So yeah, like I said, incredibly detailed drawing to show that for 2 seconds, no? put that in his mouth. It's kind of what I said about the guy earlier. This guy's a racist piece of shit. Does this make killing him okay? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Someone deserve to die because they're racist. I don't personally think so. I don't know about you guys. I mean, there's probably a lot of people out there who say yes. I don't think so. Life's man. Shut the fuck up. Oh god. Yeah, I don't personally think they deserve to die for being racist. I think they should be condemned. To know it's wrong. In cases where they are racist to people and attack people and like what he said earlier, there should be repercussions for that. I don't think they should die though. Another one of those extremist things, isn't it? He's a sleeper agent. I love how they pronounce that as well. Gaily. Retopilo gaily. How could I say no? This guy's mind's been so perverted. He's gonna accept this. Damn, he's still alive. How is he still alive? He's been stabbed like 40 times. Holy shit. That's brutal. Yeah, you can. Is that a good idea? Probably want to destroy that thing, no? Jolly lady. Well, that was quite disturbing, wasn't it? Holy crap. That was brutal. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it's kind of rare to see something that brutal in anime. I guess that's why we got the warning. Yeah, that was nasty. And like I said, there's unfortunately some people out there that will feel some kind of relief from that. And again, I can kind of understand why. Like a piece of shit dying. But I really don't feel any satisfaction from that. I think it's kind of sad if you do. I feel like the satisfaction you should get is seeing someone reform from being like that. Rather than their time ended for being like that, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know. Yeah, he's doing it. I knew he would. It's guaranteed, man. This guy just looks like the type. What'd this guy do? What'd that guy do? What's that guy's issue? Oh, man. See, I knew this was coming. So I wanted to ask the question to you guys, like, what would you do in this situation? I mean, there's plenty of things you could hypothetically say. I'd sneak up behind him and take him out. Sacrifice myself. I'd group up with 10 other people and sprint at him and sacrifice myself for the rest of the people. It's like there's loads of things you'd say you want to do, but what would you actually do? You try and sneak off on your own, just lie down and just wait, and you just accept death. I remember reading a couple of days ago about I think it was about Sandy Hook or something like that, about a really brave teacher who sacrificed herself for her students or something along those lines. She like hid all her students and then died, protecting their location or something along those lines, which is really brave. But it's just like how many people would say they'd do that versus how many people would actually do that. yeah, and that's just again just one of those things about living in America you've got to deal with. It's like what I said about like earlier about I'd absolutely hate to live there. Um, Especially you'd hate to be a teacher because the pay is fucking shit. And you've got to potentially deal with situations like that where you are expected to die for your students. You're expected to do that. And as I said, I feel like 80, maybe 90% of them actually wouldn't. If you're a good enough, I say that if you're a good enough person to be a teacher and to take that low pay, you probably would do that actually. So yeah, but like I said, like if you were that guy, the blonde guy there, would you just like try and take him out from behind? Like I feel like I'd want to. I'm not sure if that would be the safe or the best thing to do because that could just get you killed. It could get more people killed. But surely you'd like try, right? He's a couple meters away from you, like, and he's not looking at you. I don't know. Again, God forbid, never in that kind of situation. But yeah, this was. I mean, I wouldn't say I predicted it early on, but as soon as I met this guy, and when you realise about like the caricature of America that this show is, like this has got everything. It's got racist hillbillies. It's got people like this that red pill Gary. This has got every American caricature you can think of almost. So it was almost inevitable this was going to happen. The vegan stuff. But why does this guy deserve to die? Why does this random guy just deserve to fucking get shot like that? Oh, that guy looks like a bit of a monkey himself. Like, what did these people do to die? And this is exactly why I agreed with that woman's mum about this fucking humanity being part of this school. For shit like this, it was a terrible fucking idea to have this guy enrolled in any public school, public, private, whatever. It was a terrible idea to have him part of any school. As I said a minute ago, he is just Charlie to himself, but he doesn't quite get that his entire existence is political. To certain people like Red Pill Gary, his existence means an incredible amount and causes things like this to happen. And it's not Charlie's fault, but his fuck ass parents should have absolutely knew that before just wanting to make him a normal child. He isn't a normal child. He's a fucking human Z. Oh yeah, I've got Doom. He's dooming it. Another thing is American walls are so paper thin and shit, the bullets will go straight through them as well, so it's just fucked here, aren't they? I've got a nickname for him, Mr. Red Pill. But yeah, I mean, this is why we listen to people's parents. This is why they're parents. They know best. That blonde girl should be able to listen to her mum. Everyone should have. Jesus Christ, how many people have died, bro? Again, surely it gets to a certain point where the amount of people that are dying outweigh the people that would die if you collectively attack him. But, as I said earlier, would people put their lives on the line like that willingly? Probably not. You might find one or two people, but what's his name? Is he Gare or Gary? What's his name? So that's why he's not shooting them in the head or anything. I think he's going for like their spine / their kind of center. I didn't notice that. Interesting. Should listen to your fucking mother. Am I even allowed to like show this on YouTube? Like YouTube laws? This is pretty extreme stuff, to be honest. I've never watched anything quite like this in anime. Like with it actually being like a horribly real situation like this. It's amazing you're like, I get the gun stuff in America, that's hugely political as well, but it's amazing that you're able to buy a gun so extreme like this with this amount of like ammunition for it, and like you are that everybody in America that has the capability of owning a weapon like this has the capability of massacring hundreds of people potentially. Like how has it got to that? Like I understand self-defense and defending your territory and so on and so forth, but how does it got to a point where you could kill 100 people or more like that? If you know what I'm saying, I don't know. Like I said, crazy, but yeah, interesting episode yet again. Few I mean, a lot of disturbing stuff, to be honest, and again, I'm not really sure what like the comments on it are. Like, why? Like, what is the like nuance to this? Like, what are we trying to do with this? If you know what I'm saying. What are we saying about this is maybe what I'm trying to say here. What is this show trying to say about all this? I'm not really sure at the minute. It's just kind of representing some kind of real stuff, but I'm not really sure what the author's saying about it. What's their opinion on it? What are they trying to display to me about this? At the minute, I'm just seeing cruelty and death and like, yeah, what is this trying to say to me right here? What's the point? I don't really know. Maybe that comes from me not like fully comprehending it. Maybe it comes from me not being like fully in like the political sphere. I'm not 100% sure, but it feels like this is just like ruthless killing without. I mean, there's a point to it for Red Pill Gary over here, but like, what is the kind of point? What is the takeaway for us as the viewer watching this? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, some interesting stuff covered here. Again, I hated this stuff, to be honest with you. Comparing this veganism to racism. Like, come on, guys. I mean, I get that there's like overlaps in terms of like the cattle stuff, the cattle ready to die and to serve, and so on and so forth. But let's be real here. It is totally different. There's overlap with plenty of things. Yeah. But this is like, I do again, not a big fan of these caricatures as well, but I do quite like how this does feel somewhat realistic in regards to these like echo chambers online. This guy, like, he's got his channel that people. This is going to be a very weird comparison, but there's some football channels I watch on my YouTube, short videos, and the comments, you'll find that they're always aggressive towards. So, for example, it's like from a goalkeeper's perspective. If you've played football, there's like 11 outfield players. One of them's a goalkeeper that stops the goals going in. There's meant to be four or three players in front of them that help stop the goals going in, but one of them can use their hands, and they're from the perspective of the goalkeeper. Now, pretty much all of the comments are massively supporting the goalkeeper, telling them what a good job they've done, no matter how good they played. Sometimes they will play really good, they deserve the praise. Sometimes they play like crap and they'll still get a bunch of praise, and people like fanning over them, and they don't deserve it, in my opinion. But the bigger thing is that they almost always negatively comment about the people that are trying to help them in defending in the first place, and that's almost always the case. It's always, you've done a really good job, however the people in front of you are absolutely terrible, and that's always the case. Whereas they're not ever like given the full picture of anything. They're given a 60-second highlights of what happened, and I always look at the comments and I'm just like, what are these fucking people talking about? How can you abuse and say this about a 90-minute football match and the people that played, about 60 seconds highlights? Like, it's kind of similar to this. It feels like a very and that's the way the internet's gone a lot nowadays, with like the invention of like blue sky and stuff. Like, there's these like little echo chambers here and there, little political circles and so on, that just like reinforce, even about the Luigi stuff, like reinforce like you're right to feel okay about this guy murdering someone when you're not. Like, no, murder is wrong. Why are we saying that that's okay, and why are people reinforcing that's okay? So yeah, I mean, I guess the end of like the conclusion of that or a summary of that would just be internet bad. Internet getting worse, internet bad. But again, I kind of liked how that was a realistic kind of situation you'd probably get, where this young kid, it's been so much pressure put on him. He's been bullied, as we saw last episode. All of his points, the things he really cares about, getting attacked. You can understand how someone would come to do something like this. And it was absolutely brutal. But as I said, I'm not really sure what like the end point of it all is. I guess that might come later on down the line. But yeah, some crazy stuff here. Like, I think this might be the first time I've seen anything like this in anime. Can't say for absolute sure, but I think this is like the first time I've ever seen anything like this. I guess there was something kind of similar in Fujimoto's 18 through 29, I think it was. I guess there was a kind of similar situation in that, but not nearly to this degree. But yeah, a lot of stupidity here as well. As much as there's some interesting topics and stuff brought up, lots of stupidity. Again, I hate the caricatures of characters. Like, I'm glad I'm not American, because if I was American, I'd be even more offended. But it just feels very offensive to American people, just to make these people so simple and like the diner racist country guys. Like, yes, we all know the diner racist country guys. Every diner country guy is racist. Don't we know that? Where, like, have you guys ever seen like a decent person who like owns a diner or like anything like that? That in any kind of media, American media, like, it's always that same shtick, and it gets a bit boring. It gets a bit like, okay, it's kind of like the whole like church bad thing. It's like, oh, the church is actually the evil people. That hasn't been done 1,000 times. And yeah. So yeah, there's the good and the bad with this episode, but at the very least, as with every episode, there's a lot to talk about here, isn't there? So yeah, let me know what you guys thought. As I said, some pretty controversial topics spoken about. I usually don't get into stuff like that because, again, to me, like with that whole Luigi stuff, I know people say it means everything. It means a potential future for insurance and so on and so forth. But it doesn't. It's going to sound terrible to some people, but it doesn't affect me. I have my thoughts on it. They'll stay my thoughts. You can have your thoughts. Fair enough. But at the end of the day, those I could have no thoughts and my life would be no different. So yeah, but yeah, let me know what you guys did think about this episode in the comment section. Again, lots of stuff to talk about here. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I'll see you guys next week with episode 7, I believe.